topic of discussion today is intermediate ballistics. Now in this we'll see the different type of wound. See, let's see, this is a rifle barrel. Now this rifle barrel has rifling or marks. What does they do? See, these riflings or marks, they help in the gyroscopic movement of the bullet or the spinning movement of the bullet. Why this spinning movement is needed? Because the bullet, if it goes straight, there is no stability. But if the bullet spins, it is more stable in the environment, right? So we have this riflings which gives the gyroscopic movement of to the bullet. Now whenever the bullet enters the skin, there are three important things. First is bullet will enter the skin, right? So this over here, this is what, this is the puncture wound. Second is there will be some grease over here in the rifle. That grease will stick to the bullet also. So whenever the bullet goes inside the skin, the grease will be somewhere over here. So center we have puncture wound or the bullet entry point. Up, surrounding it there will be a greased collar. Done, two things done. Second thing I told you that the bullet is spinning. So whenever the spinning bullet enters encounters the skin, there is stretching of some skin or abrasion type. That will cause what? Abrasion color. Due to the spinning movement, let's say this is the skin and the bullet is, when coming over here, it is spinning, so at the point it will cause some abrasion mark. So that is what abrasion color. So the center is punctured wound, around it is grease, because it's simple. See, wherever the bullet will go, the grease is over the bullet, so the nearest around the puncture wound there will be the grease wound, and then there will be abrasion collar. Now this abrasion collar is not seen on buttocks or abdomen where there is no pressure. This is only caused when the pressures, when this skin is high tense, that will cause the stretch mark. In the abdomen and the buttocks there is no pressure, there are yielding surfaces, so there will be no abrasion collar. Now, in the center, we know there is a puncture wound. Around it is the grease collar, and more outer is the abrasion collar. Now, this abrasion collar. See, the abrasion collar shape will give the trajectory of the bullet. See, here the trajectory is straight. It will give this type of abrasion collar. Now, here you can see this puncture wound and the grease collar. They are same, circular shape only, but the abrasion collar shape changes. So the shape changes only of what? Abrasion collar, and that will give the trajectory how the bullet encountered the skin. Okay, now see, whenever the bullet is fired, there's something other things also that are coming out with the discharge. First is this flame, second is this smoke, and third is this dots that you can see. This is unburned gunpowder. So we have three things: flame, smoke, and unburned gunpowder. So let's imagine this is a bullet, this is a gun, right? So whenever the bullet is fired, sorry, the bullet has exceeded the size of the gun, but whenever the bullet is fired, there are these three things coming out. Now what do you think, which of these three things will go longest? Right, the longest will be bullet, right? The second number will be which? Flame, smoke, or the gunpowder? See, this gunpowder is a solid particle, so the solid will travel more. So this unburned gunpowder will go to the maximum range. Let's say this unburned gunpowder is going till here, right? The bullet will obviously go a long way out of the skin, out of the screen, and the unburned gunpowder is going till here. This is the range of unburned gunpowder. Then smoke will travel, let's say, up to here, and the flame will be traveling up to here only. So this is the range. Now if the person is standing over here, then he will be get encountered by all these things. Let's learn that. See, whenever the person is standing near to the bullet or near to the gun, then there will be flame, so the person will get that flame also which is coming out of the bullet. So flame will cause what? Burning of the skin and seizing of the hairs, so the hairs and skin will be affected by the flame. Second is smoke. See, whenever there is smoke, then there will be only outer layer blackening of the skin. Smoke will cause what? Blackening of the skin. But this unburned gunpowder, it does not cause blackening, it gets embedded inside the skin. So let's say if this blue one is unburned gunpowder, then the unburned gunpowder will be somewhere over here embedded. Now let's see, now I can wipe this smoke away with a cloth, right? It can be wiped, but this gunpowder cannot be wiped because it is inside the skin. So this is the difference between smoke and gunpowder. So we have three things. First is what? Burning. Second is blackening, and third is tattooing. What is tattooing? This unburned gunpowder is going inside like a tattoo. Tattoo cannot be white with a cloth. So three things, just remember: burning, blackening, and tattooing. This will also help you in the next lecture. Three things are burning, blackening, and tattooing. Now, this tattooing is not seen on palm and soles where the skin is tough, so it will not go inside. But burning, obviously, blackening, anything can become black, right? So this was the difference. Now, as I told you, the center is what? Entry wound due to bullet. Around that will be grease color. Around that will be abrasion color. So three things that we discussed in slide 1. Then we have tattooing and smoke. Smoke which is causing what? Blackening. So we have tattooing and blackening. Now there is no burning over here because this person might be standing away till a range which is outside the flame, right? This we'll learn in these slides. See, now what is the average range of discharges? As I told you, the flame has the shortest range while the gunpowder has the maximum range. Why? Because it is a solid particle. Now it is difference in rifle and shotgun. See, this is a shotgun where there is no rifling, or it is a smooth barrel, while this is a rifle where there is rifling, so it's a rifle. And here the range just differs in flame and smoke, nothing else. Now the revolver and pistol has less range in gunpowder. Why? Because the barrel is small. When the barrel is small, then the gunpowder will get less area of proper momentum. Here the gunpowder is running in a more area of proper momentum, so it will go along, right? So revolver and pistol has a little bit less range in the gunpowder. As I told you, the flame is the least smoke and the longest to go is the gunpowder. Now see, what are the different type of shot based on where the person is standing. If the person is standing over here just near to the bullet, then it is a contact shot. But when the person is standing over in this area, when he is inside the range of flame, see this red one is the flame, then it is a close shot. When the person is outside the flame and inside the smoke, or the inside the smoke, then it is a near shot. When the person is outside the smoke but inside this gunpowder standing somewhere here, then it is an intermediate shot. When the person stays away from all this and just encounters the bullet, it is a distance shot. See, so the distance shot for the rifle will be what? Outside of 90 centimeter. Shotgun will be same outside of 90, but in revolver or pistol, if he is outside of 60 centimeter, that's a distance shot for him. Now this was the same thing that I explained. Now see how the range is determined. See, we know that entry wound, grease and abrasion color will be present in every shot, whether it is close, near, intermediate or distance. But in the close shot we have all this burning, blackening and tattooing. Burning is caused by what? Flame. Blackening by the smoke, and tattooing by the gunpowder. So keep on decreasing one. So just remember this diagram, okay? Just remember this diagram. We have contact, then close, near and intermediate, close, near and intermediate. Now what happens in contact wound? See, whenever there is a contact wound or the tight contact, then everything burning, blackening and tattooing, let's say this is the puncture wound where the bullet entered. So now there is no space for the smoke or anything to escape, so there is a contact shot. So the everything, the smoke, gunpowder and everything goes inside the wound. So we have burning, blackening, tattooing inside the wound, and the outside there is just a muzzle impression means this bullet is causing a mark over the skin. That is, sorry, bullet, not the gun outer layer is causing a mark or abrasion over skin. That is a recoil or muzzle impression, right? So the all effects are seen inside the track of the wound whenever there is a contact wound. And mind you, this is a tight contact, but when there is a loose contact, see this is a loose contact, this was actually a tight contact where it is attached to the skin. In the loose contact, what will happen? This smoke and all can escape from over here. So when they escape from over here, let's say this is a bullet wound or a puncture wound, then this smoke and all they get deposited outside because they can escape from there. So we have a corona around the wound. This is a wound, and the surrounding layer we have corona around the wound. And when corona is seen in the loose contact, right? So this was circular pattern around the wound in the loose contact. Now what is the difference between entry and exit wound? See, entry wound, this is an entry wound. You can see these margins are inverted, and here in the exit wound they are everted outside, and these are inverted. So we have difference in margin where inverted and everted margins are there. Now we know that burning, blackening, tattooing, that will only cost in entry wound, right? The smoke and everything will not pass over here. So we have burning, blackening, tattooing over here only. Grease and the abrasion color also is found in the entry wound only. Now the size is smaller over here but by larger here, because this bullet is taking the tissues with it. So whenever everything falls off, the size increases a bit. So we have exit wound is larger in size, and here there is less bleeding because here the tissues and all, they are also protruding out. So there is spattering or tissue protrusion, so that is causing more bleeding, right? We have more bleeding and larger size in the exit wound. Now what is a supported exit wound? See, whenever a person is standing, let's say this is a wall, and the person is standing just getting attached to the wall, and this is the gun on him, right? So whenever this happens, there is a abrasion color in the exit wound. See, normally abrasion color is caused due to what? Friction, right? And it is only found in the entry wound, but here there is friction between the skin and the attached wall. So we have abrasion color in the exit wound when there is any support to the skin in the site of the bullet. So we have supported exit wound where there is a abrasion color in the exit wound. Now the tight contact on scalp. See, right, previously all with that we studied, there was just a tight contact on the any skin surface, but whenever specifically there is a scalp, what happens? See, let's say I have put a gun over here. Now when the gun is fired in the scalp, the bullet is going all the way, but the smoke and all, the gas expands due to this high force. The gas expands and the smoke and all, they go in between the layers and they break this scalp skin over here. So the bullet is going like this, but the smoke due to expansion, they're going in between the skin and breaking the skin. Whenever the skin breaks, there is a star shape. See, these are all breaking due to skin. So we have cruciate or stellate or star shaped wound in the tight contact with the scalp. So the hot gas, which is that diffuses between the skull vault and the skin. So gas is diffusing and breaking the skin and coming out, right? So in contact shot, see, this is the only shot where the entry wound will be larger. Why? Because of this phenomena, the gas going and destroying the skin. So the stellate wound, the entry wound is larger than the exit wound, but in all other cases where we discussed, the entry wound was smaller but the exit wound was larger. Exception was only this stellate wound. Now what is beveling? See, let's say this is a wall. So whenever the bullet strike here, the layer which is not supported, see, this is layer 1 and this is layer 2. Layer 1 is supported by layer 2, so the layer 1 does not bevel, but the layer 2 is not supported ahead by anything, right? So this layer 2 will break or bevel. This is beveling. So this beveling is seen in unsupported table or that layer which is not supported. So in skull bone we have entry and versus exit beveling. See, let's look at this diagram. This is a diagram of skull. So in this skull we have, in this layer, this is the entry layer, this is the outer layer, and this is the inner layer. So this is 1 and 2. This I'll mark over here as 1 and 2, and the same thing, this is x and this is y. So I'll mark here as x and y. So in the entry one, let's say the bullet enters from here, then which layer is not supported? Layer 2 is not supported, right? So that beveling or breaking will happen in where? In entry one it will hover on the inner table. See, this is the inner table. In the exit one, when the bullet will exit, this outer layer is not supported, so we'll see beveling in the outer layer. So based on this we'll say, okay, this was the entry wound over here and this was the exit wound. If the bullet had gone the other way, then I would have seen the beveling is seen on x and then in 1, right? So I can determine this entry and exit wound based on the beveling. Now see, cherry red skin at the entry one. See, we know that whenever the bullet is fired, there is smoke, and the smoke has what? Carbon monoxide. Smoke has carbon monoxide. So when this smoke goes inside the hemoglobin, we know carbon monoxide has a lot more affinity than oxygen to hemoglobin. So this smoke, this carbon monoxide binds with the hemoglobin, and this carboxyhemoglobin is what? Cherry red in color. So we see the cherry red skin at the, this is the entry wound, and this is a cherry red skin due to carbon monoxide. The bullet has smoke which has carbon monoxide, which will combine with this blood which is beneath this layer, and it will make what? Cherry red skin at the entry wound. Now the last topic about today is back spatter. See what is back spatter? Whenever, let's say, the bullet over here, it is fired. So when the bullet is fired, that smoke, burning, etc., smoke, flame, everything goes away with high pressure. So when there is high pressure of everything going away, there is a low pressure created over here. After everything goes away, the low pressure is created, and due to this low or negative pressure over here, the tissues get sucked inside the gun. So we have back pressure which creates vacuum or low pressure inside the gun, and that leads to blood and tissues drawn back in the barrel. So everything goes away. Why? And why the negative pressure created over here? Because everything went, bullet and the smoke, they went with high pressure, leaving a vacuum or negative pressure over the gun. So we have, this is back spatter. Now last one is wound fouling. See, wound fouling is scraped metallic particles from bullet deposited at the entry wound. If this is the entry wound, then the bullet has gone inside this puncture wound, but the scrap metallic particles of the gun are also deposited around the surrounding. Right? So this was wound fouling.